We're getting ready to see a rematch between two teams that played in the Celebration Bowl in 2021 between South Carolina State and Jackson State University. But there's going to be a change to a few things as far as personnel that's going to be out there on the field, as well as a new head coach that's going to be leading the Jackson State Tigers football team out on the field in Atlanta against South Carolina State University in this game. But one thing I got to tell you is this. This coach has coached in the MEAC before. This coach was on the coaching staff in 2021. What am I saying? I'm trying to get everybody to understand the point that head coach T.C. Taylor is going to have his team ready to get out there and compete. But the one thing I don't understand, and somebody please explain this to me, why is this man being scrutinized as far as what can we expect from the Jackson State Tigers football team in the first two games? It's almost like everyone has their pen and paper ready to go ahead and mark down exactly if Jackson State will succeed or if they will fall short. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Scrutiny is a part of the game because it's always about what have you done for me lately. But let's talk about a few things that I think many have not really looked at and understand exactly what head coach T.C. Taylor is going to bring to the table with his team. We're going to talk about it right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap the interference to tell them to come on in. It's not a positive vibe. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it. Guys, let me tell you right now. Coach apologized. I've had this daggone video put together for you guys yesterday, and I lost it. I fumbled the ball on this one. Forgive me. I was trying to go ahead and keep my streak going as far as, getting back in this thing, keep this content rolling for you guys. And Coach fumbled again on this situation. Things are looking a lot better for my dad. Continue to keep praying for him. I appreciate all you guys. But yes, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into this thing because we are, 9 days away from the SWAC MEAC challenge between Jackson State and South Carolina State University, in which these two teams played each other in the Celebration Bowl 2 years ago. And that game was not a pretty game to watch, especially for a lot of the Jackson State fans out there who wanted to see their team go ahead and run the table and win that championship game, in which it did not happen. They ended up losing that game 31-10 to South Carolina State, getting with Coach Buddy Pugh walking off the stage with that championship trophy in his hand. But the thing is, there's going to be a change at the helm with the coaches, the head coach that is, that's going to be leading the Jackson State Tigers football team out there on the field. Because the last time in this game, Jackson State had Deion Sanders as the head coach, in which, like I said, he has moved on to Colorado. He's doing his thing over there. But now, Jackson State has a head coach in the program that understands exactly what that phrase they say, guard the yard, means. And that is something that these guys is looking to come out there and do. Because there's been a lot of, I use the word scrutiny in the opening monologue as far as with what everybody is expected from head coach T.C. Taylor and his coaching staff. Well, understand one thing, guys. Yes, people are going to be looking at exactly what will the Tigers do this upcoming season, especially these first two games between South Carolina State and FAMU, in which they lost to South Carolina State in 2021, and they've beaten FAMU over the past couple of years. But the thing is, while everyone was so quick to write off Jackson State as far as the athletes that left the program when Deion Sanders decided to leave and go over to Colorado, there's a lot of athletes that left. I believe it was like 28 total. You had, 19 went to FBS schools. You had another 9 go to FCS schools. And the crazy thing about it is Coach Taylor and his coaching staff, they didn't cry and complain about none of that stuff. They sat back and said, you know what? We got to go to work as coaches and make sure that we build our program up the way that we see fit, that's going to be best for us to get out here and coach these athletes, to get out there and compete when it comes down time for the 2-time SWAC champions to defend their crown. And right now, guess what? That's exactly what they did, because Coach Taylor and his coaching staff, they got 16 transfers from FBS schools and 13 transfers from FCS schools. So the talent is there on that team. Trust and believe when I say that coaching staff over at Jackson State is going to have these young men ready to go as far as getting out there and compete. Now, when I saw those numbers as far as the transfers that was coming in, according to 247 Sports, Jackson State has the number 2 ranked recruiting class for 2023 in the FCS. That's according to 247 Sports. Not only that, but then we look at hero.com, in which hero.com, like I said, they specify the athletes that's coming into the program, in which Jackson State is going to be just fine. I did a rundown as far as the linemen, because a lot of the articles that I was reading, they talk about how the linemen up front was, they got battered and bruised in that 2021 game against South Carolina State, in which they were saying, we're wondering what these guys going to look like when they come out and play come next week. Well, I did a rundown to look at the size of the linemen in 2021 compared to the size of the linemen in 2023. And the crazy thing is, average weight for the linemen in 2021 across the board for all of the linemen, I think was roughly around like a little bit under 300 pounds. Well, guess what? This year, the average size for the linemen is going to be roughly around about 314, 315. Average height is going to be somewhere between 6'3", 6'4". I believe for 2021, I believe the average height for that team, I think it was like roughly around 6'2", 6'3". I could be 6'3.5". I could be a little off there as well. But I'm just looking at how coaches constructing things. The same formula that was put in before, where they had 15 linemen, I believe they got 15 linemen this year. So this thing that people think that they're not going to have the necessary tools needed for them to get out there and compete, you got to remember, head coach T.C. Taylor, not only was he a quarterback when he was at Jackson State, he was a receiver as well, in which he has the single season receiving record, in which he understands the field. He knows where players need to be at particular times. One thing I can say is this. In that South Carolina State game against Jackson State, the last time these two teams played, I'm going to honestly say this, and I know some of you may get upset with Coach, but I got to be honest with you. I feel as if Coach Deion Sanders in that game, he was the leader. He was the head coach. He was the head coach of the team at that time. He's the leader. I honestly feel in that game they may have gotten out coached. You're going to hear me say that for the first time ever. I honestly feel that he may have gotten out coached in that game, to whereas because you felt that you had the athletes on the field that you thought were going to be more superior than the guys that you were playing against, South Carolina State came out there, and excuse my vernacular, but they came out there and kicked your ass and let you understand that this is not going to work no more. When I look at head coach T.C. Taylor, because he coached in the MEAC, I'm going to give this man his flowers now, because I honestly believe that he understands what needs to be done, especially in them trenches when it comes down to those linemen, digging in deep, pulling up their bootstraps, and getting ready to go. When you strap that chin strap on that helmet, saying, hey, you know what? It's game time. It's time to kick in and go. I honestly believe Coach T.C. Taylor and that coaching staff over at Jackson State have the athletes that understand that moniker, guard the yard, D.I. love, let's get out here and get this work, because it's time to show these folks that this ain't no has-been. These guys have something to prove. They have a chip on their shoulder. Yes, they were the hunters all the time, and now they're being hunted because the previous head coach is gone. But understand, when you have someone of the caliber of head coach T.C. Taylor, in which, yes, this is his first head coaching job, understand this coach has been coaching in different sets. He coached at, I think in my last video, I talked about him coaching at Oklahoma Community College. He coached over at Texas Southern. He coached at North Carolina Central University. Coached at Jackson State prior to Deion Sanders arriving at Jackson State University. So what I want people to understand is this. This coach has been around a lot of different head coaches for him to take a lot of different things in, sponge up all that information, and get ready. He's going to be standing on that sideline looking at that field, especially to see the things that need to, see things that, coaches may not see at that time. That's why I love the fact that this coach is the new head coach over the team, because one thing I can say is this. When I'm looking at all of the different articles on head coach T.C. Taylor, where they're talking about his time when he was over at North Carolina Central, how he sits there and he breaks down everything that's going on the field. He's one of those coaches that pay attention to exactly what's going on, tendencies, looking at different things as far as the different sets that a defense may put up in front of his offense, as far as the different plays that he may need to run against them to continue to keep moving that ball down the field. That is something that I feel, honestly, I don't think Deion Sanders did that when he was on the sideline. I think he was more so looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, I got the people in here. I trust them to go ahead and do what they need to do. Let's go. Like I said, this is no kicking the pants to Coach Sanders. This is just me stating the facts, stating the obvious as far as what's going on, what we're going to see this come next week when these two teams link up. We already know head coach Buddy Pugh is going to be out there looking to have him a couple of wrinkles in his toolbox, making sure that he catch Jackson State off, catch them slipping out there on the field as far as what he can use to get them off balance and keep pushing that ball down the field. Especially now that it's been said that Corey Fields is going to be that guy who was the starter in the game against Jackson State before in that Celebration Bowl. Guys, all I want to say to you is this. I'm looking at how often we judge people, judge coaches as far as what have they done, or better yet, what can we expect from them? Yes, coach has always been that guy that always try to find that silver lining in the moon to make sure that he puts that positive piece out there, letting everybody know, hey, listen, there's definitely some great things about this coach that you're going to see, from him this upcoming season and beyond. I honestly feel that head coach TC Taylor is the right guy for the Jackson State Tigers football program, and he's going to get them back to that championship round once again. Understand and believe, he who fails to plan, plans to fail. And I truly believe Coach TC Taylor and that coaching staff has a plan. And all we can do is sit back and watch it unravel. Because like I said, this is going to be a great chess match to see these two coaches go up against one another. And if I'm not mistaken, TC Taylor has run an offense against head coach Buddy Pugh's team, South Carolina State teams in the past. So trust me when I say there's going to be some things out there that head coach TC Taylor is going to see as a head coach that he's going to deliberate back to his offensive coordinators, letting them know, hey, listen, guys, when you see this is what we need to do. When you see that, that's what we need to do. This, like I said, everybody sit back and watch and see what's going on. Honestly, truly, and I'm saying all this because of the fact that the one key ingredient is in this game that's going to be played, there's no film on Jackson State. Because remember, all of the athletes that was on Jackson State team last year that played in the Celebration Bowl, and many of those that played in the Celebration Bowl against South Carolina State 2 years ago, they're gone. Now, there is 12 that's going to come back on that Celebration Bowl team to play in this game this upcoming season. But like I stated before, there's no full game film on what you can expect from Jackson State. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure some folks may have went out and scouted while they were, during the spring game to see exactly what's going on, to get some type of understanding of what they will run. Last year, I believe, who was that? Last year, Jackson State ran an air raid offense. This year, I'm sure they're going to run. They're going to run a fast-paced offense where they're going to be bleeding that clock, running that ball. I honestly feel that's how this is going to be. And they're going to open it up when they need to throw the ball down the field to keep those chains moving. And that's basically pretty much what we see in some instances where a lot of the teams over the MEAC, that's pretty much how they run, how they move the ball up and down the field. So y'all strap in to get ready. Because as I stated before, this team is going to be ready to go. They understand now, and if they don't understand, they're going to find out real fast. They are now being hunted. And they got to come out there like they are the hunters, letting everybody know, hey, listen, the game, the party ain't over. We still going to keep on doing what we got to do. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, why everybody's so quick to talk about what to expect from head coach TC Taylor in the first two games of this season, make sure y'all talk about what Deion Sanders didn't do in two games in 2021 and 2022, which was he did not beat a MEAC team in the Celebration Bowl when it counted the most. But guys, Coach gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna go ahead and get up on out of here because, like I said, this is gonna be a great game. I'm just ready for it to go ahead and kick off. But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.